Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. We've got a big update on the Leasehold Reform Act. Now, that looked like it potentially was dead. That was the word on the street, that a lot of backbenchers in the Tory party were rebelling against the Leasehold Reform Act. And one of the things that they were really against was the abolishing of ground rent. Well, that has changed. And so there's a new strategy from Michael Gove in order to get this through. This could be very good news for leaseholders. So before we jump into this, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We've got new content updates every single day. Plus, do me a favor on this one, share this video with someone that you know that has a leasehold, that's undecided on what they should be doing with this at the moment. This is a very big update and potentially very good news that could save them tens of thousands of pounds. And while you're here, smash the like button, tickle the like button, do something to the like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So, what's going on? Well, look, Leasehold Reform Act was announced in the King's speech. And in short, the goal of this was to get as close as we can to abolishing leasehold without actually abolishing it. And so what they were going to allow you to do was extend your lease to 990 years. And you'd also be able to do other things like start questioning the service charge. The cost of extending the lease would be significantly reduced as well. Ground rent was already abolished previously, but when you extend, you'd get your ground rent abolished as well. But there was some sticking points. And so the big pension and insurance companies have been the difficulty getting this through. And let's be honest, lots of Tories are also landlords, so they probably own the odd freehold or two. And so what's happened is that the insurance companies have said, look, if you really want to get rid of ground rents, that's going to cost us over £30 billion. Now, if the government just takes this away, there's some human rights laws that people have, and they have the right to be compensated. And so a quick study was done, probably on the back of a fag packet knowing this government, and they looked at what this would cost, and they came to the conclusion that it could cost the government close to 30 billion as well, just to get rid of the ground rent part, which is a big part of leaseholds. And so that's because some ground rents are very expensive. You get some ground rents that double every 10 years. It depends how unorthodox the freeholder is. And so lots of ground rents are 100 quid a year. I've got a few that are peppercorn. I've got a few that are 100 quid a year. I've got one that's 250. But when you get more expensive ground rents, it gets really hard to get a mortgage and quite hard to sell the property as well. And so that was the point of bringing this in. And so what Michael Gove has actually come back to the table with is to fix ground rents for £250. And this is what we're expecting to be announced next week. So ground rents to be fixed at 250 quid. If you're in London, that could make a huge difference to you particularly. And that's really positive because 250 quid is the magic number where anything above that is difficult to get a mortgage. And so that puts everyone on a level playing field. It means that the government wouldn't need to have compensation as well. So it would save them billions. I'd rather they were spending their billions on something like the National Health Service, right? Or fixing potholes in roads, not compensating freeholders. So that's good, right? So if they can get this approved, we need to see what the reaction is from the Tory backbenchers. Are the votes going to count? Is this going to go through? But this is definitely better. And it's also good that they haven't just given up on that, on this Leasehold Reform Act, because that was the worry and the threat that we had before here as well. What else is there? Now, they do want to phase out ground rent. So this is ground rent capped. And they want to phase out ground rent over 20 years. Now, that might not happen, but I think the cap is the main thing. I think for me, the bigger problem is huge ground rents for some people. So that would fix this problem. And then the other part, which isn't being contested so much, is actually going to help a lot of people. And that's still in the bill. And that's to extend to 990 years. So that means you're very close to feeling like a freehold anyway. So you just extend it when you are ready to, or when you need to do that, to 990 years. Now that is good. And if we can get that done for a lot of people, that just gives them that certainty. They're never going to go into marriage value. They're never going to have to worry about having a short lease. It's just going to eliminate all of that stuff. What's still in the bill as well is the reduction of the cost of the extension, and it's still expected to be half. There is an example in there where they talk about a 20 grand extension would go down to around half. It doesn't show how the calculations are made, but that's good. So if you have a property that is less than 80 years, so you have less than 80 years on your lease today, then you will have to pay something called marriage value to extend your lease. That means any extra value you add to the property, you'll pay half of that cost in order to extend your lease. So let's just say you extend your lease and then the property will be worth 50 grand more. It will cost you 25 grand to extend your lease. If you extend your lease and the property is going to be worth 500 grand more, think central London, you'd pay 250 grand to extend your lease. Now, what the calculations, what we want to see is exactly how that works out, but the example they give is half the price. Let's see if that goes across the bigger extensions and stuff like that, but that's positive. So we want to see cheaper extensions. So cheaper extensions is important. So we want to keep an eye on that. Now, what else is in there is disputing service charges. And so there's so many companies that have crazy service charges, and you might have a management agent right now. You can't really question them on this stuff, right? You don't have the right to question them on this stuff. When this Leasehold Reform Act goes through, if it does, which we're hoping it does by the summer, then you will have the right to question what you're paying for, right? And what some companies do, not all management companies, but some make huge margins on top of work, right? And so they might say, hey, let's get the roof done, and they might make 20% on that. Now they're not incentivized to get the best price, and you're paying a 20% premium on that. They can also make a huge commission off the insurance for the building. That doesn't incentivize them to find you the best, cheapest insurance for your property. All of that will change with the Leasehold Reform Act. So this is a big update, right? This was something that was almost a lame duck bill, not likely to pass, but let's give Michael Gove a little bit of credit here. Maybe not, but a little bit of credit here. He has come out with a solution. And the problem was the ground rent. That was the sticking point. That was what the insurance companies were having a problem with, and the pension companies. This means that they will have some sort of solution. Now what we've got to hope is that the other MPs back this. And if they do, this hopefully will go through by summer. So this is a kind of U-turn on the last video I did on this. Do comment below with your thoughts. Do you think this is going to pass this time round? This is, in my opinion, fairly good news. Do comment below what you think. Do smash the like button. Share this video with someone, guys. Share it. If you press the share button and you're on a phone, it will share it into your WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, email, something like that. But yeah, let's get the message out on this. And do subscribe, hit the bell, check out some more content on my channel, including this video right here.